And the political violence in Honduras carried out by sectors of the right in this country was again in evidence, this time against the presidential candidate for the Free Party, Rixi Moncada. Our colleague Karim Duarte with the details.
En Honduras se encendió la polémica luego de que...
In Honduras, controversy was ignited after the opposition mayor of San Pedrano, Roberto Contreras, used a coffin with the image of presidential candidate Rixi Moncada in an act that has been condemned as an example of gender-based political violence. Moncada, the only woman among 5 presidential aspirants, assured that on November 30 the population will respond at the ballot box to those who attack her in a rude and sexist manner.
A quienes la atacan de manera grosera y machista.
A mí me da pena. Me parece que él es impresentable.
I feel sorry for him. It seems to me that he is unpresentable, and that the Society of San Pedro Sula deserves a better destiny, and I am also sure that the Society of San Pedro Sula will make its decision on Sunday, November 30th.
El domingo 30 de noviembre, porque está evaluando no solo la conducta de una persona.
Because it is evaluating not only the conduct of a person who is in charge of running the city, but it is evaluating the conduct of a man who has dedicated himself in a rude manner to attack the only woman who is on that slate for the presidency of the republic.
A atacar a la única mujer que está en esa.
But above all, a hardworking, dignified, honest woman like yours truly who is going to defeat him at the polls.
Trabajadora, digna, honrada y honesta como su servidora que le va a derrotar en las urnas.
Este episodio, calificado como misógino por...
This episode, described as misogynist by various social actors, adds to a long history of political violence against women in Honduras, a country that has already witnessed hate-filled campaigns when Samara Castro aspired to the presidency. Human rights defender Natalie Roque warned that these types of attacks transcend the figure of the candidate and become a discourse of hatred against all women in Honduran society.
Contra todas las mujeres de la sociedad hondureña.
Esta violencia política con carácter de género, violencia misógina, machista.
This political violence has a gender-based character, misogynist, macho violence that has again in the context of the electoral campaign, these characteristics that we have already seen for a whole decade when President Xiomara Castro was also a candidate, and that beyond only affecting the figure of the woman candidate, it is also transversalized as a hate speech for the whole society, for all women in society.
Se transversaliza como un discurso de odio.
En el mismo sentido, Rodolfo Padilla Sunseri, también aspirante...
In the same vein, Rodolfo Padilla Sunseri, also a mayor candidate, regretted what happened and stressed that the use of hatred as an electoral tool divides even more a deeply polarized country. In his opinion, the only way out is public debate based on ideas, projects, and proposals, since the contrary represents an intellectual poison that hinders the possibility of building national unity.
La posibilidad de construir unidad nacional.
Using hate in a political campaign is wrong, because we are too divided. And I believe that the only way we can move forward is with unification. That is why I ask and have always asked for debate, public debate to discuss ideas, to discuss plans, to discuss projects.
La violencia política contra las mujeres en Honduras.
Political violence against women in Honduras has been denounced by international organizations and constitutes one of the country's main democratic challenges. The case of Rixi Moncada exposes how macho attacks seek to discredit women who dispute spaces of power, while feminist and political sectors demand that the electoral contest focus on proposals and not on aggressions that weaken democracy.
Y no en agresiones que debilitan la democracia. Desde Tegucigalpa, Honduras, para teleSUR, Karim Duarte.